Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, I want to talk a little bit about my experiences that I've had doing horror movie conventions. A lot of friends that I know and a lot of people who watch my videos and people I follow online, I know a lot of them go to different conventions, horror movie conventions, Comic-Con conventions and stuff like that. And I've been to so many of them, and I've had so many different type of experiences. It really starts getting hard to remember all of them that I've had. So I thought it'd be a really cool idea to go ahead and just make a video and share my experiences. But I have so many different ones that I decided to go ahead and just break it down into several parts. So I guess every episode that I make of this, I'm going to talk about two different experiences that I've had going to different horror movie conventions, good or bad. So let's just make this one like Volume 1 of my horror movie convention experiences. So the first one happened at I think it is at a Fright Night Film Fest convention. I don't think they do those conventions anymore. It was in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was probably around 19, 20, something like that, around that age. And this was probably back in like 2006, 2007. So it involves Kane Hodder. And if you don't know Kane Hodder, shame on you. However, I will say that he did play Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 7, 8, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X. And I was friends with a crew. We call it's Dead Pit Radio. They did a horror movie podcast at the time. And I was friends with them. I was hanging out with them at their table that they had set up where they were selling a lot of their merchandise. And Kane Hodder's table was set up right next to their table. And as I was taking my items that I had like a backpack full of movies and everything, and I had it sitting down at the table. I was putting a bunch of VHS tapes in, and one of the movies that I had was a VHS called Open House. And Kane Hodder, he was signing autographs, and I guess he looked over and saw me and saw that I had the VHS of Open House. And he was actually a stunt coordinator on that movie. And it was like the very first movie he was a stunt coordinator on or something. And he had never seen it before. And he looked at me and he paused signing autographs. And he was like, "Hey, is that Open House?" I was like, yeah, man, it's Open House. I've never seen it. How was it working on it? And he was just told me a brief, just 4 or 5 words about working on it really quickly. And he was like, "Man, I've never seen that movie. That's kind of cool. Where'd you get it from?" And I was like, "Oh, you've never seen it? Really?" So I was like, "You know what? You got a VCR at home?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." So I handed him the tape and I said, "It's yours. I didn't pay very much for this. Thank you for all the stuff that you've given us over the years in film. And that tape is yours. Thank you." And Kane Hodder was like, "What? I can't accept that from you. That's crazy." And I was like, no, go ahead. Just take the VHS tape. It's cool. It's fine. And so he took the tape and I went about my business. I was talking with the Dead Pit guys and just enjoying my time. And then all of a sudden, like, I get a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and it's Kane Hodder. And he's like, "Hey man, I thought it was just really generous of you to give me that tape. So here's some free autographs." And he like handed me like 4 8x10 autographs of like pictures from Friday the 13th. An autographed Fangoria magazine where he was on the cover of it. It was a really cool experience. And he was just like, I can't thank you enough for just being so nice. And he handed me all his autographs and then went back to signing his autographs at the other tables and stuff. It was just a really cool experience. And Kane Hodder, every time I've ever seen him at a convention, he's always been super nice to everybody. And so if you ever get a chance to meet Kane Hodder, definitely go up to him and talk with him, shake his hand. Usually whenever you get a picture with him, he chokes you, which is kind of cool. Dangerous, but cool. So that was the first. That was one of my experiences I've had. My second experience also involves Kane Hodder, and this is actually really funny. So he remembered years down the road. I've seen him 2 or 3 times before this, but I guess he had remembered me from being at a convention. And he, I actually have a Jason tattoo. Actually, it's a horrible tattoo. I don't really want to show it. But he saw my tattoo and he remembered me. And so his table was right next to, I can't remember the actor's name, but it's the guy who plays the killer in Hot Tension, or I can't remember his name, but anyway, he plays in Hot Tension. So the guy from Hot Tension was taking a picture with one of my friends, and I was the one that was supposed to be taking the picture for him. And they're having trouble trying to figure out where to stand and everything for the picture. And as I'm holding the camera, I'm like, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. And as I start to take the picture, Kane Hodder just immediately like flops his head down in front of the camera and it's like blocking the view and acting like he's looking for something on the table. And then he turns around and looks at me. He's like, oh, sorry, I didn't know I was in your way. Continue on. And then I was like, starting to take a picture again, and again, just bam, flops his head down in front of the camera, and he's like, I'm never gonna find this thing. I don't know where it's at. So, excuse me. So again, he turns around, he's like, oh, sorry again, guys. I'll be out of your way. And so finally, I think he goes over and sits down. And as I start to take the picture, he says something and starts to get up, like he's gonna jump back in front of the camera. And both the guy that plays the killer in Hot Tension and my friends start to laugh. And so the picture that I take is them reacting to Kane Hodder off camera, yelling something at them and distracting them from the picture. So it was a really cool experience. And just all around, Kane Hodder is just an awesome person to see at a convention. So if you ever get a chance to meet him, definitely go through his lines, shake his hand, get an autograph, picture, whatever. Just at least speak to the guy because he is just so cool. And he loves meeting fans too. So that is volume 1 of my horror movie convention experiences. And we're making a lot more of these with some more stories and some good ones and bad ones, like I said. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have your own horror movie memory that you'd like to share about a convention, post it down in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.